Hello there, Eddie Mercado here with BloodyElbow.com, and today I will be speaking with the prototype, Adam Milstead, as he is heading to UFC 222 to take on the undefeated Jordan Johnson. That's going down from Las Vegas, Nevada on March 3rd. So let's give Adam a call and find out what he's been up to since he sustained a gruesome knee injury in his last UFC fight. Find out maybe what that rehab process is like and what life has been like, and maybe what he has in store for Jordan Johnson. Mr. Adam Milstead, the prototype. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for taking out the time to speak with me. You're currently 8-1-1 in your mixed martial arts journey, headed into UFC 222 March 3rd, taking on Jordan Johnson. This will be your first fight at light heavyweight. We've seen you in the past getting it in with the big boys in the 265-pound limit. So how are things?
Things are going good, man. Just constantly working on recovery and fine-tuning things at this point.
Okay, so the last time we saw you, you took on Curtis Blades, and your knee got thrashed in the process. It just kind of gave out on you. It looked like it happened in the first. You gutted it out. You hung tough. Came back out for the second, and the knee was just done at that point. What exactly happened to the knee, and what made you go back out there for the second round?
Man, I've been put in that situation before, so I told myself that I can still win this. I always, as long as I'm still conscious, still breathing, I always have a chance to win. So that was my idea, was just to go out there and continue to give it everything I got, make sure I put it on a show in the process, but at the same time, go out fighting.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what exactly happened to the knee itself? What kind of tear was it?
It was an ACL tear, meniscus tear, and a severely sprained MCL, which was MCL was halfway torn. And that came about probably the very first slam when he picked me up in the first round. And he slammed me and my knee gave. I felt as soon as I hit the ground, the knee kept going, and right then and there, I knew it was really difficult to get back up to my feet. So, yeah, it sucks, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right?
Hey, absolutely. I mean, how did you like muster up the courage to even answer the bell in round two? I mean, you came out and it was visible, like your knee was just done, but you were just still in it to win it.
Yeah, man, that's it's my dream. It's what I want to do. I understand the risk and everything that's involved. Yeah, I understand that at any moment I can get hurt, but from dealing with this injury prior, like in 2013, I had a injury sort of like this, and I ended up coming out winning. I ended up tearing my knee up in the second round and eventually finished the guy late in the second. And the injury is a lot better to deal with knowing the fact that you went out there and won. It's even a lot better to deal with knowing the fact that you got that injury from not giving up. I'd hate to have to go through the surgery of knowing that I tapped because, I just never thought I had a chance, So I don't do this sport because, I want to make money. I do this sport because I'm a warrior, because, spiritually, man, I'm strong, and I want to get out there and do everything I can to be the best Adam Milstead I can be. So having said that, like anytime I get injured, I know it's a part of the game, but you just got to learn to push through it, man.
Now, was it a reoccurring injury on the same knee, or is it a different knee?
No, so now this is the other knee. So this was my good knee. So I've had ACL and meniscus surgeries on my left knee, and now I've got it on my right knee. I'm not, I'm not bragging about it, but I'm not a stranger to the surgery room. So,
right.
You get a dream and you want to do everything you can to make sure that dreams, you can live it and make it a reality. But, even though that maybe it might not be a reality, it's nice to know that I gave absolutely everything that I got to know, that if it doesn't happen, I'm fine with that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, definitely props for toughing it out and making it out there. Like that takes balls, to be quite frank. Um, so you know you have spoken in the past how you have a regular full-time job on top of fighting. What did this injury do to your work outside of the cage?
It did kind of delay my work. Luckily, I worked with a lot of good guys who realized that I was put in a really difficult situation, so they all kind of strung together to help me out. They helped me with some of my work duties. Obviously, I had to take some time off for the surgery, a little bit of time off after the fight. Luckily, I was able to run on what money I did have from the UFC, and that kind of paid the bills while I eventually got better and got back out on the pipeline and started making money again.
Okay, and what was the recovery process like going through the surgery and I mean, it's almost like you have to learn to walk again, sort of.
Yeah, exactly. And that was actually one of the hardest things was learning just to walk normal again, learning to walk and run without a limp. Yeah, it was difficult. It's one of the most difficult surgeries I've been through. I was in surgery. Now, most ACL surgeries, reconstructive surgeries, take anywhere from an hour and a half for a doctor to do it. I was on the operating table for 4 hours.
Oh wow.
So they were doing everything they could to clean it up. I mean, I was good friends with the doctor too. I said, hey man, let's do everything we can to, make sure that this knee is ready to go 100%, but also I'm looking for the longevity of it. Let's not, if we can avoid taking the meniscus as much as possible, let's do that. Let's try to work around it. I have a lot of faith in my knee being able to heal in some situations like that, but being as much damage as I have done to it, and the prior chaotic moments that I put my knees through on a daily basis with MMA, I mean, it was beat up from the begin with, but I did everything I could, and the doctor did everything he could. It's just I did a lot to it, so it took a while for me to recover. And at this particular moment in my life, this is going to be a long, this knee injury is going to be with me forever. So I got to learn to deal with that. But so the recovery and rehab never stops at this particular point. In order for me to stay healthy and continue pushing my body to the limit, I got to stay on rehab. I got to stay on therapy, which is, I just left the therapy office today. Actually right now, I did cryotherapy, got a massage and laser and everything like that. So, I'm staying on top of it as much as I can. And hopefully, this won't be a hindering fact, later on in life.
Okay, well, here you are. You're moving on. UFC 222, Orlando, Florida. You're taking on Jordan Johnson, light heavyweight division. What was the reason for the switch? Is it because, the surgery is kind of got your weight down, or a conscious decision to just, hey, I'm 205 from here on out, or what was the reason for the drop?
More or less, in order for me to fight heavyweight, I had to eat close to 5, 6, sometimes 7,000 calories a day just to maintain that weight. My body was very good at dropping weight, but not very good at putting on weight. So, and originally I fought heavyweight because I wanted to be faster, wanted to have better cardio, wanted to use my speed, when I fought. But at this particular point in the UFC, these guys are that big, plus they have speed and power, and it's just something that I believe that my body is probably going to do a lot better at light heavyweight. I think it'll be a lot more healthier. It won't take as much force on the joints. Won't be as brutal on the body. I mean, yeah, I got to deal with guys who are a little bit faster, guys who can still hit hard. But at least in this sense, I think I can stay healthy and active long enough that I can make a true statement in a light heavyweight division.
Okay, and what do you think the drop down to 205 will do for your fighting style? You think it'll change it up any?
I have changed my fighting style. You'll see a different fighter in there, somebody who's going to be able to deal with the wrestling, but at the same time, I've worked with some really good boxing coaches and kickboxing coaches. So I've I've honed my skills a lot better than I was when I fought last. Hopefully the cage rust doesn't affect me too bad, but when I get back in there, you're going to see a whole new Adam the Prototype Milstead, and I'm going to do everything I can to knock this guy out, go drink and have a beer and enjoy life once again.
I dig it. Now, what do you know about your opponent? He's undefeated right now. He's 2-0 in the UFC. Jordan Johnson. I mean, what are you expecting in there?
He's a wrestler. He's going to try to take me down. Simple as that. Even though you've seen him, stand up and brawl with some guys, which is great. That's the type of fight I like. But I understand at this particular moment in the UFC, these guys are worried about wins, not putting on shows. I'm a little bit different. I believe that the reason why I got in UFC is because I put on a good show. But of course, in order to continue doing that, you got to win too in the process. So as soon as I start standing with him, he's going to see something a lot different than he's been studying. And he's not going to know what to do. He's going to go back to his natural tendencies. He's going to try to take me down.
Fair enough. What about training camp? Where are you training it, and how's that going?
Training right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Training at the Academy of Mixed Martial Arts, and I also do, I work around the area. I sometimes go up to Strong Style, work with Stipe Miocic. I work over on the other side of the city with Isaac Greeley. So I'm jumping around from gym to gym, but my home is the Academy.
Okay. And do you have any kind of prediction for this 205-pound fight? How do you see it going down?
My hand being raised. That's all I care about, man. As far as I'm concerned, the moment I step in that cage, I've already won. Coming off of the injury that I had and dealing with the bounce back and dealing with just the everyday life, man. It's just so grueling on my body. Getting up in the morning, at 5:30 in the morning, going to work, get home around 6 o'clock at night, grabbing my stuff, going to physical therapy, then going to the gym, training for 3 hours, come home, get a night's rest of 4 or 5 hours and get up and do it all over again. It sucks. So, when I enter that cage, that's my payday, man. I get in there to have fun, put on a show for everybody, live like a rock star for this few minutes. And, but, it's personally, that's my win. But for everybody else, I predict my hand being raised at the end of the fight.
Okay, I can respect that. Now, so you're at 205 from here on out. You are a light heavyweight moving forward.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. There's unless somewhere down the road, my body gets good enough and I decide to want to rematch Curtis Blades because I have a feeling deep down inside I can beat him and I know how to beat him. But until that point comes, until I get to that level where, he decides, okay, this will be a good fight for me or whatever, I'm going to continue staying at 205 and try to stay active and just make my mark in the light heavyweight division. I want people to fear me when they step in there. Okay.
Now, speaking of moving up from light heavyweight to heavyweight, Daniel Cormier, he's stepping up to face your boy Stipe at, I don't know when it's going down, but the title will be on the line, the heavyweight title. How do you see that going down?
That's going to be a rough night for Cormier. I like the guy. He's a great wrestler. He's a great MMA guy, but when Daniel gets into these bad situations, he goes back to his wrestling. Well, the only unfortunate thing is that's Stipe's strongest point. A lot of people don't realize that Stipe is a great boxer. We've seen that. We've seen him knock guys out, but he's even better at wrestling. And Cormier is going to realize that he's in for a rude awakening when he steps in there. But in the end, I hope both guys go out there and they put on a show and make a lot of money doing it because they deserve it.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait. That's going to be fun also. Well, you got any sponsors or any people in your corner that are helping you out that you want to give a special thank you or shout out to?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Lake Effect Decoy Company. It's a duck decoy company. I want to give them a big shout out. Shady Rays Sunglasses, Fear the Fighter T-shirt company, CBD Sky, and Title Boxing, and No Foods. So I want to give them a big shout out and say thank you guys for helping me out and making this fight game just a little bit more enduring. And of course, everybody else like yourself and people who have stuck with me through thick and thin, man, thank you guys for continuing to support me.
Awesome. Well, for the one or two people who are not already following you on social media, how can people get at you with your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that jazz?
Pretty much every social media account, just hit at Adam Milstead and hit me up and, hit me with a follow, like some stuff, whatever it may be. And, I'm pretty active on there too. So I like enjoying conversations with people who want to talk and stuff. So, but anyways, yeah, they can hit me up there and, kind of follow this crazy journey.
Awesome, man. I dig it. Well, Adam Milstead, thank you so much for taking out the time once again. You are headed to Las Vegas, Nevada, UFC 222, March 3rd. Jordan Johnson in your crosshairs. Best of luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So there you have it. Adam, the prototype Milstead, set to take on Jordan Johnson at UFC 222. That's going down in Las Vegas, Nevada on March 3rd. Go check that out. In the meantime, you can read me over at bloodyelbow.com. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheEddieMercado. If you like this interview, you can smash the like button down below. It's a thumbs up. You can subscribe to me right there. You can subscribe to Bloody Elbow right there. Check out those interviews right there. Now go be a good person.